Mafia boss CEO fakes a nap to test the single mom janitor. Dante Moretti sat in his leather chair, eyes closed, breathing steady. To anyone watching, he was asleep, exhausted from another 18-hour day running Moretti Enterprises. But Dante never slept in his office, never let his guard down. Not when running a billion-dollar corporation was just the respectable face of his real business. The family, the organization, the empire built on power and fear. The cleaning crew arrived at midnight. Same as always. But tonight, Dante wanted to test someone. The new janitor, Maria Santos, single mother, late 20s, hired 2 weeks ago. His head of security had flagged her file. Too many gaps in her employment history. Too many questions she wouldn't answer. Dante needed to know if she was a spy, a threat, or just desperate. So he pretended to sleep. Let her think she was alone with one of the most powerful men in the city. Maria entered quietly, her cartwheels barely making sound on the marble floor. Dante heard her pause, probably noticing him in the chair. Most cleaners would leave, come back later. But Maria moved forward, started cleaning. Dante listened to every movement. The soft spray of cleaner, the gentle wipe of cloth on wood. She was thorough, careful, not rushing, not sloppy. His desk was covered in documents, contracts, financial reports, some legitimate, some decidedly not. Any spy would photograph them. Any thief would search the drawers. Maria did neither. She cleaned around the papers, didn't touch them, didn't even look at them. Interesting. Then she started humming. Soft, almost inaudible. A melody that made Dante's chest tighten. He knew that tune. Knew it like he knew his own heartbeat. Maria's humming became words. Whispered. In Italian. Nina nana. Nina o, questo bimbo a chi lo do. Dante's eyes almost opened. That lullaby. His mother had sung it to him. Every night before she died. Before his father became a monster. Before Dante learned that love was weakness and trust got you killed. Maria continued singing. Her voice cracked with emotion. Like the song hurt her. Like she was singing to someone who wasn't there. Se lo do alla befana. Esi lo tien una settimana. Dante's breathing hitched. Just slightly. Maria stopped singing immediately. He heard her freeze. Heard her breath catch. Terrified, she'd woken him. Dante kept his eyes closed. Forced his breathing back to steady rhythm. Playing asleep. After a long moment, Maria continued cleaning. Faster now. Nervous. She finished his desk. Moved to the windows. No more singing. Just silence broken by cleaning sounds. But Dante's mind was racing. How did she know that song? Why did she sing it with such pain? Who was she really? Maria finished cleaning. Dante heard her cart moving toward the door. Heard her pause one more time. Then her voice. Barely a whisper. So quiet he almost missed it. I'm sorry, baby. Mama will be home soon. I promise. She wasn't talking to him. She was talking to someone else. Someone she'd left behind to come work this midnight shift. The door closed softly. Maria was gone. Dante opened his eyes. Stared at the space where she'd stood. Something was wrong. Something about Maria Santos didn't add up. And Dante Moretti hadn't survived 38 years in the Mafia by ignoring his instincts. He pulled out his phone. Called his head of security. Vincent, I need everything on Maria Santos. Everything. Her past. Her family. Why she's working midnight shifts. And I need it in 1 hour. Boss, we already ran background. She's clean. Run it again, Dante commanded. Deeper. Because she just sang a lullaby my mother sang to me 30 years ago. And I want to know how a janitor from Brooklyn knows an obscure Italian folk song. 50 minutes later, Vincent walked into Dante's office with a thick file. His expression was grim. Boss, you were right to be suspicious. Maria Santos isn't who she claims to be. Dante's hand tightened on his desk. Explain. Her real name is Maria Ricci. She changed it 6 years ago. Legal name change. Sealed records. Ricci. That name meant something. Dante's memory churned. Then landed on it like a punch to the gut. Antonio Ricci, Dante said slowly. The accountant. Vincent nodded. Maria is his daughter. She was 19 when Antonio testified against the Colombo family. Witness protection placed her and her mother in Arizona. But her mother died 3 years ago. Cancer. Maria left witness protection. Came back to New York. Dante stood abruptly. She came back? After her father put half the Colombo family in prison? That's suicide. Gets worse, boss. Maria has a 5-year-old daughter. Lucia. The child is sick. Needs a kidney transplant. Costs $500,000. Insurance won't cover it. Maria's working 3 jobs trying to save money. Dante's jaw clenched. 3 jobs. Cleaning here midnight to 6. Waitressing 6:30 to 2. Then stocking shelves at a grocery store 3 to 8. She sleeps 4 hours. Then does it again. And the father? Dante asked, though he already knew the answer would make him angry. Vincent's expression darkened. Ex-husband. Marcus Santos. Abusive. Maria divorced him 2 years ago. Got a restraining order. But Marcus keeps showing up. Threatening her. Demanding custody of Lucia. Claims Maria's an unfit mother because she works too much. Dante's hands formed fists. Where's Marcus now? Unknown. But boss, there's something else. The Colombo family. They're still looking for Antonio Ricci's daughter. They know she came back to New York. They want revenge for Antonio's testimony. If they find Maria, they'll kill her. And her daughter. Dante was quiet for a long moment. Processing. Calculating. This woman. This janitor who sang his mother's lullaby. Who worked herself to death trying to save her daughter. She was connected to his world. Targeted by his enemies. And she had no idea the man whose office she cleaned ran the only family powerful enough to protect her. I want surveillance on Maria, Dante said. 24/7. Protect her without her knowing. And find Marcus Santos. Bring him to me. Boss, if you protect Maria Ricci, the Colombos will see it as an act of war. Let them, Dante replied coldly. Antonio Ricci testified against them 15 years ago. They're still hunting his daughter? That's not justice. That's cruelty. And I don't tolerate cruelty. Since when? Vincent asked carefully. Since tonight, Dante thought. Since a single mother sang my mother's lullaby while thinking I was asleep. Since I heard her apologize to her absent daughter. Since I realized not everyone in this world is corrupt. Just do it, Dante said. And Vincent, I want to know everything about Lucia's medical condition. The transplant. The costs. Everything. Vincent nodded and left. Dante stood at his window, overlooking the city he controlled. Somewhere out there, Maria Santos was finishing her second shift. Exhausted. Terrified. Fighting impossible odds to save her daughter. She'd walked into his office tonight. Cleaned around his secrets. Respected his space. Asked nothing. Took nothing. Just did her job with quiet dignity. And sang a song that connected them across 30 years and 2 different worlds. Dante made a decision. One that would complicate everything. One that went against every rule he'd built his empire on. He was going to protect Maria Santos. Whether she wanted it or not. Whether she knew who he was or not. Maria Santos finished her shift at the diner at 2 in the morning. Her feet ached. Her back screamed. She had exactly 45 minutes to get to the grocery store for her 3rd job. 45 minutes to pretend she wasn't dying inside. Her phone buzzed. The hospital. Again. Miss Santos, this is Memorial Hospital calling about Lucia. We need to discuss payment options for the transplant. The donor match we found won't wait forever. We need a deposit. $50,000. Within 2 weeks. Maria's vision blurred with tears. I'm working on it. Please. Just give me more time. We've given you 3 months. Time is running out. For Lucia and for us. The line went dead. Maria sank onto a bus stop bench. Put her head in her hands. 50,000. She had 8,000 saved. After 6 months of killing herself. After sacrificing everything. She was nowhere close. Mama. Maria's blood froze. That voice. She looked up. Marcus stood 10 feet away. Her ex-husband. Restraining order be damned. He smiled. That cruel smile that used to terrify her. You look tired, baby, Marcus said. Working yourself to death. For what? A kid who's gonna die anyway. Stay away from me, Maria said, standing. Looking for witnesses. The street was empty. 3 in the morning. No one around. Marcus moved closer. I'm filing for custody. Told the judge you're unstable. Work 3 jobs. Never home. Can't provide proper care. They're gonna give me Lucia. And you'll never see her again. You don't want her, Maria said, her voice shaking. You just want to hurt me. Maybe, Marcus admitted. But it's working, isn't it? He reached for her. Maria stepped back. Her hand went to the pepper spray in her pocket. Touch her, and you lose the hand. The voice came from behind Marcus. Deep. Cold. Absolutely certain. Marcus spun around. A man stood there. Tall. Expensive suit. Dark eyes that promised violence. 2 other men flanked him. Security. Professional. Maria recognized him instantly. Her heart stopped. Dante Moretti. Her boss. The CEO whose office she cleaned. What was he doing here at 3 in the morning? Who are you? Marcus demanded, trying to sound tough. Failing. Someone who doesn't like men who threaten women, Dante replied. Walk away. Now, or I'll make you disappear. Marcus looked at the two security men, looked at Dante's expression, decided survival was more important than pride. This isn't over, he told Maria. Then he ran. Maria stared at Dante, confused, terrified. Mr. Moretti? What are you doing here? Making sure you're safe, Dante replied simply. How did you know where I was? Dante's expression didn't change. I know everything about my employees, especially ones working 3 jobs, especially ones being stalked by abusive ex-husbands. Maria's face went pale. You investigated me. I protect my people, Dante corrected. Now get in the car. You're not walking to your 3rd job at 3 in the morning. I can't, Maria said automatically. I need to work. I need the money. For Lucia's transplant, Dante said. Not a question, a statement. Maria's legs went weak. How do you know about Lucia? Like I said, I know everything. Dante gestured to the black SUV behind him. Get in. We need to talk. Maria should have refused. Should have run. But she was exhausted, terrified, and something about Dante Moretti's presence made her feel safer than she'd felt in years. She got in the car. They drove in silence. Maria expected him to take her to the grocery store. Instead, they pulled up to an all-night diner. Expensive. The kind Maria couldn't afford. I already ate, Maria said quietly. No, you didn't, Dante replied. You worked a double shift on coffee. Now you're going to eat real food. Then we're going to discuss your situation. Inside, Dante ordered for both of them. Maria was too tired to argue. When the food came, she ate mechanically, trying not to think about how much this meal cost, how many hours she'd have to work to pay for it. Lucia needs a transplant, Dante said once Maria had eaten. $500,000 total. You have 8,000 saved. At your current rate, you'll have enough in approximately 3 years. Lucia doesn't have 3 years. Maria's eyes filled with tears. I know that. Don't you think I know that? I'm doing everything I can. You're killing yourself, Dante said bluntly. 4 hours of sleep. 3 jobs. No support system. And Marcus threatening custody. This isn't sustainable. Then what do you suggest? Maria demanded, anger breaking through exhaustion. I don't have rich parents. I don't have savings. I don't have options. So I work. That's all I can do. You have another option, Dante said carefully. You let me help. Maria laughed bitterly. Why would you help me? I'm just a janitor. Nobody. You're not nobody, Dante replied. His voice was intense. And I'm offering because I can. Because I want to. Because that song you were singing last night. In my office. When you thought I was asleep. That was my mother's lullaby. She sang it to me before she died. I haven't heard it in 30 years. Maria went very still. You were awake. I was testing you, Dante admitted. Seeing if you'd steal. If you'd snoop. If you'd prove to be a threat. Instead, you cleaned respectfully. Sang a song that connected to my childhood. And whispered an apology to your daughter that broke something in me I thought was already broken. I don't understand, Maria whispered. I'm going to pay for Lucia's transplant, Dante said. All of it. And I'm going to make sure Marcus never threatens you again. And I'm going to protect you from dangers you don't even know exist. I can't accept that, Maria said immediately. I can't take charity. It's not charity, Dante replied. It's employment. You're going to work for me. Directly. Not as a janitor. As my personal assistant. Regular hours. Good salary. Benefits. And in exchange, Lucia gets her transplant. You get safety. And I get someone I can trust. Maria stared at him. Why me? Why would you trust me? Dante was quiet for a long moment. Because you sang my mother's song. Because you work 3 jobs for your daughter without complaining. Because when you thought I was asleep, you didn't take advantage. You showed character. In my world, that's rare. Worth protecting. Your world, Maria repeated. Something in her tone made Dante look at her sharply. What do you know about my world? Dante asked carefully. Maria's hands trembled. I know Moretti Enterprises is legitimate. But I also know the Moretti family has other businesses. Dangerous businesses. My father worked in this world once. Before he testified. Before witness protection. Before everything fell apart. Dante's expression went cold. Your father. Antonio Ricci. Maria's face crumbled. You know? I know everything. Dante repeated. I know Antonio testified against the Columbos. I know they're still hunting you. I know you left witness protection to come back here. Stupid. Brave. But stupid. My daughter was dying, Maria said, tears streaming. I needed money. Needed work. Witness protection gave me nothing. New identity, but no support. No way to save Lucia. So I came back. Took my chances. The Columbos find you. They'll kill you, Dante said flatly. Revenge for your father's testimony. They don't care that you're innocent. Don't care about Lucia. You're a target. I know, Maria whispered. But what choice did I have? Let my daughter die? Or risk my life trying to save her? That's not a choice. That's survival. Dante studied her. This woman who'd sacrificed everything. Who'd walked back into danger for her child. Who worked herself to death with quiet dignity. The Columbos are my enemies too, Dante said finally. They've been pushing into my territory. Causing problems. If I protect you, if I make it known you're under Moretti protection, they'll back off. And start a war, Maria said. I know how this works. I grew up in this world. My father's testimony destroyed our family. Destroyed my mother. I won't let it destroy Lucia. It won't, Dante promised. Because I'm not just offering protection. I'm offering a solution. You work for me. Publicly. As my assistant. The Columbos see you're valuable to me. Untouchable. They leave you alone. Marcus sees you have powerful backing. He drops the custody fight. Lucia gets her transplant. Everyone wins. Except you, Maria said. You gain an enemy. Risk a war. Spend $500,000. For what? A janitor who sang a song. Dante leaned forward. His eyes intense. For someone who reminds me that honor still exists. That sacrifice means something. That not everyone in this city is corrupt. You're right that I run dangerous businesses. That I've done terrible things. But I also protect people who deserve protecting. And Maria, you deserve it. Maria was crying openly now. I can't pay you back. Ever. I'm not asking you to, Dante replied. I'm asking you to accept help. To let me do something good for once. To let your daughter live. Maria looked at this man. This dangerous, powerful man who somehow saw value in her. Who offered salvation when she'd given up hope. Why do I feel like accepting this changes everything? Maria whispered. Because it does, Dante admitted. You accept my help, you enter my world. My protection comes with strings. With dangers. With complications. But Maria, you're already in danger. Already targeted. The only question is whether you face it alone or with the most powerful family in New York backing you. Maria thought of Lucia. Her baby. Her reason for everything. Thought of Marcus's threats. The Columbos hunting her. The impossible debt for the transplant. She thought of Dante's expression when she'd sung that lullaby. The recognition. The pain. The connection. Okay, Maria said finally. I accept. But Mr. Moretti, understand something. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for Lucia. And if your world threatens her, if your enemies come after my daughter, I'll fight you too. Dante smiled. Genuinely. I'd expect nothing less. And Maria? Stop calling me Mr. Moretti. If you're going to work for me, if you're going to be under my protection, call me Dante. Dante, Maria tested the name. It felt dangerous. Intimate. Real. Better, Dante said. Now finish your coffee. Tomorrow you start your new job. Tomorrow Lucia gets scheduled for her transplant. And tomorrow Marcus Santos learns what happens when you threaten someone under Moretti protection. Maria should have been terrified. Should have questioned every decision that led here. Instead, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. Marcus Santos got the message 24 hours later. Not through lawyers. Not through courts. Through fear. He woke up in his apartment to find 3 men in his living room. Professional. Silent. Terrifying. They didn't touch him. Didn't need to. Their presence said everything. The leader dropped a folder on Marcus's chest. Read it. Memorize it. Then burn it. Marcus opened the folder with shaking hands. Inside were documents. Court filings. All prepared. All ready to submit. Dropping his custody case against Lucia. Relinquishing all parental rights. Agreeing to stay 500 feet from Maria at all times. I'm not signing this, Marcus said, trying to sound brave. You can't make me. The leader smiled. Cold. We're not asking. We're informing. You sign willingly, or you sign after we break every finger. Your choice. Who sent you? Marcus demanded. Maria doesn't have this kind of power. Maria Santos is under Moretti protection, the leader said. That means she's untouchable. That means her daughter is untouchable. That means you go near either of them again, you disappear. Permanently. Marcus's face went white. Moretti. As in Dante Moretti. The Mafia boss. CEO, the leader corrected with a smile. Legitimate businessman. Now sign the papers. Marcus signed. His hand shaking so badly the signature was barely legible. The men took the documents and left. Like ghosts. Like they'd never been there. But the message was clear. Maria was protected. And Marcus was done. Across the city, Maria stood in Dante's office. Her new office. Connected to his by a door that was always open. She wore professional clothes Dante had provided. Sat at a desk that cost more than her annual salary. And tried to process that her life had changed completely in 24 hours. Lucia's surgery is scheduled, Dante said, entering with coffee. Real coffee. The expensive kind. 2 weeks. Dr. Martinez is the best transplant surgeon on the East Coast. I've ensured he's personally overseeing everything. Maria's eyes filled with tears. I don't know how to thank you. Stop thanking me, Dante replied. You're working for it. This isn't charity. You're earning every dollar. By answering your phone and organizing your calendar? Maria said. That's not worth $500,000. You're also keeping me human, Dante said quietly. Reminding me why I do this. Why I built something legitimate alongside the darkness. You're worth more than you think. Before Maria could respond, Vincent entered. His expression was grim. Boss, we've got a problem. The Colombos know Maria's here. They're demanding a meeting. Maria's blood went cold. They found me. They were always going to find you, Dante said calmly. The question was timing. Now we control the narrative. What does that mean? Maria asked, fear clear in her voice. It means I meet with them, Dante replied. Make it clear you're off limits. That touching you means war with the Moretti family. They'll never accept that, Maria said desperately. My father destroyed their organization. They want revenge. They'll demand you hand me over. Then they'll be disappointed, Dante said coldly. Because I don't negotiate when it comes to people under my protection. Dante, they'll kill you, Maria said. The use of his first name came naturally now. Felt right. Start a war that destroys everything you've built. All for a janitor you barely know. Dante moved closer. His eyes intense. You're not a janitor anymore. You're mine to protect. And I don't abandon my people. Ever. The meeting with the Colombos happened that night. Neutral territory. A restaurant both families had used for negotiations for decades. Dante brought Vincent and 4 other men. The Colombos brought twice that number. Sal Colombo was in his 60s. Old school. Brutal. He'd been hunting Antonio Ricci's family for 15 years. Now he sat across from Dante with cold satisfaction. You're harboring Maria Ricci, Sal said. No preamble. No pleasantries. Antonio's daughter. She belongs to us. Blood debt. Maria Santos works for me, Dante corrected. She's my employee. Under my protection. What her father did 15 years ago has nothing to do with her. Blood pays for blood, Sal replied. That's the old way. The right way. The old way gets people killed for crimes they didn't commit, Dante said. Maria was 19 when her father testified. Innocent. Her daughter is 5 years old. Also innocent. You want revenge? Antonio's dead. Killed himself in witness protection 3 years ago. Your revenge is done. Sal's eyes narrowed. Antonio's dead. Shot himself, Dante confirmed. Couldn't live with what he'd done. What he'd cost his family. So your blood debt is paid. By Antonio himself. Maria and her daughter are off limits. Not good enough, Sal said. Maria came back to our city. That's disrespect. That's asking for retribution. She came back because her daughter is dying, Dante replied. His voice hardening. Needed money for a transplant. Had nowhere else to go. You want to kill a woman for trying to save her child? What kind of man does that make you? Sal leaned forward. The kind who keeps his word. Who honors blood debts. Who doesn't let traitors' families walk free. Then we have a problem, Dante said coldly. Because Maria Santos is under Moretti protection. You touch her daughter, you declare war on my family. And Sal, you're not strong enough to win that war. Your family is fractured. Half your captains are in prison. Your territory is shrinking. You start a war with me. I'll finish what Antonio started. I'll destroy the Colombo family completely. The room went silent. Tense. Every man's hand near their weapon. Waiting to see if this turned into a bloodbath. Sal studied Dante. You'd risk everything for one woman? A traitor's daughter? I'd risk everything for what's right, Dante corrected. And killing innocent women and children is wrong. You taught me that, Sal. Years ago when we were allies. When you had honor. What happened to that man? Sal's face tightened, memory flashing in his eyes. That man's family got destroyed by Antonio Ricci's testimony. And destroying Maria brings them back? Dante challenged. Killing her daughter restores what you lost? No. It just makes you the monster Antonio claimed you were. Sal was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke. You care about this woman. More than protection. More than business. I can see it. Dante didn't deny it. She's under my protection. That's all that matters. No, Sal said. What matters is whether you're willing to die for her. Because that's what this becomes if I refuse your terms. War. Death. Destruction for both families. All for one woman who means something to you. Yes, Dante said simply. All for her. Sal laughed. Bitter. Tired. You're a fool, Dante. Love makes us weak. Makes us vulnerable. Makes us do stupid things. Maybe, Dante agreed. But honor makes us human. And I'd rather be a fool with honor than a monster with none. Sal stood slowly. His men tensed. Dante's men responded. Hands moving to weapons. The restaurant could explode into violence in seconds. I'm not giving up the blood debt, Sal said finally. But I'm not starting a war tonight either. Maria Ricci gets 6 months. If she's still under your protection then, if you're still willing to die for her, we'll revisit this conversation. Until then, she's safe. But Dante, understand something. This reprieve isn't mercy. It's strategy. I'm giving you time to realize she's not worth it. To cut her loose. Save yourself. Won't happen, Dante said firmly. We'll see, Sal replied. He walked out, his men following. The tension bled from the room. Vincent looked at Dante. Boss, that was close. Too close. It was necessary, Dante said. Sal needed to see I'm serious. That Maria isn't negotiable. You bought us 6 months, Vincent said. But boss, in 6 months, if we're still protecting Maria, Sal will come back. And next time, he won't talk. He'll shoot. Then we have 6 months to prepare, Dante replied. To strengthen our position. To make it clear that the Colombos can't touch us. Back at the office, Maria was waiting. She'd refused to go home. Refused to leave until she knew Dante was safe. When he walked in, alive and unharmed, she collapsed with relief. What happened? Maria asked. Did they agree? Am I safe? For now, Dante said. 6 months. Then we revisit the conversation. Maria's face crumbled. 6 months. That's all I bought you. 6 months before they come after me again. Before they hurt Lucia. Before they destroy you for protecting me. 6 months is enough, Dante said. Lucia will have her transplant. She'll recover. And by then, I'll have ensured the Colombos can't touch you. How? Maria demanded. They're powerful. Connected. They've been hunting my family for 15 years. What changes in 6 months? Dante moved to stand in front of her. Close. Intense. What changes is you're not alone anymore. You have me. You have my family. You have resources and protection that the Colombos can't match. And Maria, I promised I'd keep you safe. I keep my promises. Maria looked up at him. This dangerous man who'd risked everything for her. Who'd faced down his enemies. Who'd bought her time when she had none. Why? Maria whispered. Why do all this for me? Dante's hand came up to cup her face. Gentle despite his earlier violence. Because that lullaby you sang. It reminded me I'm not just a monster. Because the way you whispered to your daughter broke something in me I thought was already broken. Because when I look at you, I see strength I wish I had. And because somewhere between testing you and protecting you, I started caring whether you lived or died. And I chose life. Maria's breath caught. Dante, I'm not. I can't. This is complicated. Everything worth having is complicated, Dante replied. But Maria, understand something. This isn't just protection anymore. This isn't just employment. Somewhere in the last 48 hours, you became important to me. Really important. And I'm done pretending otherwise. I have a daughter, Maria said. I have enemies. I have a past that's chasing me. Getting involved with me is dangerous. I'm a mafia boss, Dante countered. I have enemies. I have a past built on violence. Getting involved with me is suicide. But maybe we're both tired of being alone. Maybe we both deserve something good for once. Maria's eyes filled with tears. What if this destroys us both? Then we burn together, Dante said. But at least we won't burn alone. He kissed her. Soft. Careful. Like she might break. Maria kissed him back, pouring 6 years of loneliness into that connection. 6 years of fighting alone, of carrying impossible weight. When they broke apart, both were breathing hard. 6 months, Maria whispered. We have 6 months before everything falls apart. Then let's make them count, Dante replied. Starting with saving your daughter. Then we'll deal with everything else. Together. Maria leaned against him. Exhausted. Terrified. But for the first time in years, not alone. And maybe that was enough. For now. Until the 6 months ended and the Colombos came back. Until then, they had each other. And sometimes, that was all you needed to survive. Lucia's transplant happened 2 weeks later. Maria held her daughter's hand until the anesthesia took effect, watched as they wheeled her baby into surgery, then collapsed in the waiting room with fear she'd been holding back for months. Dante sat beside her, didn't speak, didn't offer empty promises, just held her hand. Solid, present, real. The surgery took 8 hours. 8 hours of Maria pacing, praying, falling apart. Dante stayed the entire time. Canceled meetings, ignored calls, just stayed. When Dr. Martinez finally emerged, his expression was cautiously optimistic. The transplant was successful. Lucia's body is accepting the kidney. She's stable. Recovery will take time, but she's going to make it. Maria sobbed, relief so intense it hurt. Dante's arms went around her, held her while she shattered and reformed. While 6 months of terror finally released. Your daughter's a fighter, Martinez said. Just like her mother. Maria was allowed to see Lucia an hour later. Her baby looked so small in that hospital bed. Tubes and monitors everywhere. But breathing. Alive. Healing. Mama. Lucia's voice was weak. Groggy from medication. I'm here, baby. Maria whispered, kissing her forehead. Mama's here. You did so good. So brave. Hurts, Lucia mumbled. I know, sweetheart. But it's going to get better. You're going to get better. I promise. Lucia's eyes drifted closed. Back to healing sleep. Maria sat beside her. Refused to leave even when nurses said visiting hours were over. Dante made a call. Suddenly the hospital allowed Maria to stay. Private room arranged. Accommodations made. Money solving problems like it always did. 3 days later, Lucia was awake more. Asking questions. Wanting to know why she hurt. Why she was in the hospital. Maria explained gently. Age appropriate. Honest. A nice man paid for your surgery, Maria said. Helped us when we needed it most. What nice man? Lucia asked. As if summoned, Dante appeared in the doorway. He'd been visiting daily, checking on Lucia, bringing Maria food she wouldn't eat, making sure they had everything they needed. Lucia's eyes went wide. You're tall. Dante smiled. Genuine. The kind of smile he rarely showed. And you're brave. Your mama tells me you're the bravest girl she knows. I was scared, Lucia admitted. Still scared. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared, Dante said, moving closer. It means you're scared, but you keep going anyway. That's real courage. Lucia studied him with the directness only children possess. Are you mama's boyfriend? Maria's face went red. Lucia, that's not, we're not. Would you want me to be? Dante asked the child seriously. Lucia considered this. Mama cries a lot when she thinks I'm sleeping. She works all the time. She's sad. Are you going to make her not sad? Dante looked at Maria, then back at Lucia. I'm going to try. If your mama lets me. Then yes, Lucia decided. You can be mama's boyfriend. But you have to be nice. And not yell. And read me stories. Deal, Dante said, extending his hand. Lucia shook it solemnly. Maria was crying. Again. But different tears this time. Not from fear or exhaustion. From something else. Something that felt like hope mixed with terror. Lucia recovered faster than expected. Within 2 weeks, she was walking. Within 3, she was home. Dante had moved them. Not to Maria's old apartment with its broken locks and bad memories. To a secure building. Guards. Good schools nearby. Safety. Maria protested. This is too much. We can't afford this. You work for me, Dante reminded her. This is employee housing. Benefits of the position. Employee housing doesn't have armed guards, Maria countered. Mine does, Dante replied. Especially when employees are targeted by rival families. The 6 months passed in a blur. Lucia getting stronger. Maria working beside Dante. Learning his business. Both legitimate and otherwise. She didn't judge. Didn't lecture. Just understood that his world was complicated. Dangerous. but also bound by rules. Honor. Loyalty. They grew closer. Carefully. Both aware of the deadline approaching. Both knowing the Colombos would come back. Would demand answers. Vincent tracked the Colombo family obsessively. Boss, they're mobilizing. Bringing in soldiers. Preparing for something big. The 6 months are almost up. I know, Dante said. How long? 2 weeks. Maybe less. Dante called a meeting with his captains. 20 men. His inner circle. Loyal to death. The Colombos are coming, Dante said without preamble. Over Maria Santos. Over a blood debt I won't honor. This is going to get ugly. Anyone who wants out, now's the time. No judgment. No consequences. Silence. Then his oldest captain, Roberto, spoke. Boss, you saved my daughter from human traffickers 5 years ago. Paid her medical bills. Got her into college. I follow you into hell if that's where you're going. One by one, every captain pledged loyalty. Not because they had to. Because they wanted to. Because Dante had earned it. Through years of protecting his people. Of being more than just a boss. Of being family. Then we prepare for war, Dante said. We fortify our positions. We strengthen our alliances. And we make it clear. The Moretti family doesn't back down. Not for the Colombos. Not for anyone. 2 weeks later, Sal Colombo requested another meeting. Same restaurant. Same terms. But this time, the tension was thicker. More dangerous. Everyone knew this wasn't negotiation. This was ultimatum. 6 months, Sal said. I gave you 6 months to realize Maria Ricci wasn't worth dying for. To cut her loose. To choose survival. But my sources tell me she's still under your protection. Living in your building. Working at your side. So Dante, I ask you one more time. Is she worth war? Yes, Dante said without hesitation. She is. Sal's expression hardened. Then you're a fool. And fools die young in our world. Maybe, Dante agreed. But I'll die with honor. Can you say the same? Sal stood. His men rose with him. Weapons visible. Ready. This is your last chance. Walk away from Maria Ricci. Let me have her. End this peacefully. No, Dante said simply. Then war it is, Sal replied. And Dante, when your family is destroyed, when your empire is ashes, remember, I gave you a choice. You chose wrong. Sal walked out, his men following. The threat hung in the air. Heavy. Inevitable. Vincent looked at Dante. Boss, we're outnumbered. The Colombos have alliances we don't. Resources we can't match. This war could destroy us. Then we fight smarter, Dante replied. We use our legitimate businesses as shields. We leverage our political connections. We make it clear that attacking the Morettis means attacking half the city's infrastructure. Sal wants war. We give him war. But on our terms. Back at the apartment, Maria was waiting. She'd heard about the meeting. About Sal's ultimatum. About Dante's refusal. You should have let me go, Maria said when Dante arrived. Her face was tear-streaked. Anguished. You should have saved your family. Saved yourself. I did save myself, Dante replied. By choosing you. By choosing honor over fear. Maria, my whole life I've made decisions based on power. On survival. On what benefits the family. For once, I made a decision based on what's right. And that's you. That's Lucia. That's this. This war will kill you, Maria said desperately. Kill your people. Destroy everything you built. All for me. I'm not worth that. Dante grabbed her shoulders. Gently but firmly. You are worth that. You and Lucia both. And I'm done letting you think otherwise. Maria, you saved me. That lullaby. That whisper. That glimpse into who I used to be before this life consumed me. You gave that back. So yeah, you're worth fighting for. Worth dying for if it comes to that. I can't lose you, Maria whispered. I just found you. You won't lose me, Dante promised. Because we're going to win this. Together. The war started 3 days later. Not with bullets. With strategy. Dante used his legitimate businesses to pressure Colombo operations. Construction permits denied. Health inspections failed. Financial audits initiated. The kind of warfare that didn't make headlines, but destroyed organizations. Sal responded with violence. 3 Moretti businesses firebombed. 2 soldiers hospitalized. A message written in blood. This won't be clean. This won't be easy. This will cost you. But Dante didn't back down. He called in favors. Political connections. Law enforcement on his payroll. Suddenly the Colombos found themselves under federal investigation. Tax evasion. Racketeering. Their legitimate fronts crumbling. The war escalated. Both sides losing people, losing ground. The city caught in crossfire. Then Maria made a decision. One that changed everything. She called Sal Colombo directly. I want to meet. Just you and me. No weapons. No soldiers. Just two people talking. Sal agreed. Curious. Suspicious. They met in a church. Neutral ground. Sacred ground. Where even enemies could talk without violence. You want to surrender? Sal said. Statement, not question. No, Maria replied. I want to end this. Not by giving you what you want, but by offering something better. What could you possibly offer me? Sal demanded. The truth about my father, Maria said. About why he testified. About what really happened 15 years ago. Sal's expression shifted. I know why he testified. He was a coward. A traitor. He was threatened, Maria corrected. Federal agents told him if he didn't testify, they'd arrest me. His 19-year-old daughter. On fabricated charges. They'd send me to prison for crimes I didn't commit. My father had a choice. Testify or watch his daughter get destroyed. He chose me. Sal went very still. That's a lie. It's the truth, Maria said. And I have proof. Documents. Recordings. Everything showing the FBI's coercion. My father didn't betray you because he wanted to. He did it because they gave him no choice. And he's paid for it. Killed himself 3 years ago. Couldn't live with what he'd done. What it cost. His death is your revenge. But destroying me? Destroying my daughter? That's not justice. That's just more pain. She handed Sal a folder. Filled with evidence. Documents she'd obtained through Dante's resources. Proving everything she'd said. Sal read slowly. His expression shifting from anger to shock to something else. Grief. For a betrayal that wasn't. For revenge pursued against an innocent man. Why show me this? Sal asked finally. Why not let Dante and I destroy each other? Because I'm tired of violence, Maria said. Tired of bloodshed. Tired of good people dying for old grudges. My father made a choice to save me. Now I'm making a choice to save Dante. And you. And everyone caught in this war. We can end this. Right now. With truth instead of bullets. Sal was quiet for a long time. Staring at the documents. At proof that his 15-year crusade had been based on coercion, not betrayal. Your father should have told me, Sal said finally. Should have explained. Trusted me to protect you both. He was scared, Maria replied. Broken. Made bad decisions under pressure. But he paid for them. Lost his family. Lost his life. Lost everything. That's enough, Sal. Please. Let it be enough. Sal stood. Walked to a candle altar. Lit a candle. Stood in silence. Then he turned. The blood debt is paid. Not by death. By truth. Maria Ricci is free. Her daughter is free. And the war with the Morettis ends tonight. Maria's legs went weak. You mean it? It's over. It's over, Sal confirmed. Tell Dante Moretti he chose well. Protected someone worth protecting. And that Sal Colombo honors his word. No more hunting. No more revenge. Just peace. Maria left that church feeling lighter than she had in years. She went straight to Dante. Told him everything. Showed him Sal's agreement. Dante stared at the document. Then at Maria. You ended a war. With truth. With courage. Without firing a shot. I ended it because you gave me the resources to find that truth, Maria replied. Because you believed me when no one else would. Because you protected me long enough for me to fight back. Dante pulled her close. You're incredible. You know that. I'm just a janitor who sang a lullaby, Maria said. You're the woman who changed my life, Dante corrected. Who reminded me what honor means. What love means. Maria Santos, I'm in love with you. Completely. Terrifyingly. And I'm done pretending otherwise. Maria's eyes filled with tears. I love you too. Even though you're dangerous and complicated and you run a criminal empire. I love you. Terrible judgment, Dante said with a smile. The best judgment, Maria corrected. Because you saved my daughter. Saved me. And gave us a future we never thought we'd have. They kissed. Deep. Real. Full of promise. 6 months later, they were married. Small ceremony. Just family. Lucia was flower girl. Wore a princess dress. Declared it the best day ever. Maria kept working for Dante. But now she helped him transition more business to legitimate operations. Used her insight to build something lasting. Something good. Lucia grew strong. Healthy. Normal childhood with a mother who no longer worked 3 jobs. Who smiled now. Who sang lullabies without crying. And Dante? He found something he'd never expected to find in his world of darkness. light, hope, love. All because a janitor sang a lullaby in an empty office. All because he pretended to sleep and listened. All because he chose honor over fear, and proved that sometimes the most dangerous men could also be the most human. This story proves that courage means choosing truth over violence, love over fear, and honor over revenge. If this moved you, subscribe for more powerful stories of unexpected connections and brave choices. Drop a comment telling us your favorite moment, and share this with anyone who needs to know that one moment of kindness can change everything. Thank you for watching.